Hi, it's the Shunt Sisters! And today's our first video. Yeah. And today we're going to be reacting to Harry Potter Conspiracy Theories. Film Theory by CPK. Obviously.
Who is actually Minecraft channel.
The guy
but whatever.
who is in the screen who's like paused at like the best place ever. Like best face ever right there. Like he's just like I don't know. I don't even know what this face is. Okay. But he was like talking in the middle of a sentence.
So she's gonna like try to disprove everything.
So the reason that Harry's class size is so small. So J.K. Rowling actually said that there were around 1,000 students in Hogwarts. That's how many she perceived there to be, 1,000 students.
Okay.
Which means that for each year that they're there should be 35 students in each house. Ish. Okay. Obviously there isn't an exact split because the hat chooses where you go, unless of course you choose yourself. So there's never going to be an exact split, but there should be around 35 students per house.
Okay,
However, through the films, the ones that primarily focus on the schools, like the first 3 or 4, because after that it's kind of not really based on the school anymore, you will actually seem to notice that there are only really about 10 or 11 Gryffindors.
No, there's not.
It's just all the people that you would
that's just
in the
their specific classes.
That's it. Like, there's no mention of any other people. You don't really see.
If you look in the Great Hall, there's a lot more people. Laura, stop shushing me. I'm trying to disprove theories.
However, there is a theory behind why the class size is so small in Harry Potter's year at school. And I enjoy this one. So it comes from a Tumblr user called Marauders Forever. And it says, what if there were less students in the Hogwarts class of 1998? That's when Harry Potter went. Because the period when the other kids would have been conceived, 1979 to 1981, was when Voldemort's reign of power was at its peak. Between the dozens of adults who joined the Order and the dozens of civilians who were killed in Death Eater raids and the dozens of adults that didn't want to bring a child into the world at that time, it's actually entirely possible that there was a baby drought for a few years in the wizarding world.
How is this even a conspiracy theory?
Size 10 years later.
This actually makes sense.
Well, yeah, but
theory. I don't feel like it's
their theories.
J.K. Rowling very rarely comments.
Yeah, it is a theory, but it's not exactly a conspiracy.
Obviously, she said there's 1,000 students, so it's probably just an oversight that they never showed more Gryffindor students. I think that's a really cool reasoning for it, and I personally believe that. Even if it's by accident, I think that the way that works out is incredible, and I love to believe that because there was a crazy baby drought, there's now less students at Hogwarts.
That's just a random notification. Sorry about that.
It was so frightening. I think that's incredible. So that's the first theory. So the second theory that I want to cover is a bit more of a silly one, and I think it's already been like super disproved. But the reason that the Dursleys are so horrible around Harry Potter is because Harry Potter is a Horcrux. So this one's a little bit of a strange one. So if you've seen all the movies, then you'll know that if you have possession of a Horcrux or you are around a Horcrux, then you actually can have like negative attitude. You can become very aggressive, out of your character.
So that means that everyone who's around Harry Potter is like worse than they're supposed to be because Harry Potter is a Horcrux.
I think the Dursleys are just stupid, but like the whole Harry is a Horcrux thing. That's true. Like Harry was Voldemort's Horcrux.
No, that's what they're saying. They're saying like, yeah, Harry was a Horcrux, so that's why the Dursleys were.
But then wouldn't Ron and Hermione and a bunch of like that's like the Dursleys have to be bad people in general. Like they just.
But they were around a Horcrux for 10 years.
So. It's like the way he's saying it is only while you're around it that you have a negative attitude. Not just being around it builds up a negative attitude. I don't think that's what he's saying.
Well, yeah, but
whatever.
People are saying that that's why the Dursleys are such horrible people because
they're just horrible people
they
in
were
general.
around a Horcrux for 10 years.
He does actually say that
which
later.
Is insane because no one ever
skip
spends that
this
much
because
time.
he literally just like
rambles on about random. Lol? That picture though? Okay, yeah.
What
is that? Voldemort?
I can't tell what the weird. Okay.
I think it was as bad as it's made to seem. And yeah, it seems that Petunia and Vernon just hold the
they're
grudge.
just
Okay, so the third theory I want to cover is that Harry Potter
They're
is
against all
immortal.
wizards.
Now, this one is two separate theories. One I only found out about recently, and one I've known about for a while. So I'll cover the more silly one first. So, the reason that some people think that Harry Potter is immortal is that he has a Horcrux that can never be destroyed. So, people think that Harry Potter actually has his own Horcrux, and I'll explain why. In Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is the second movie, there's a big scene where he's, basically fighting with the basilisk whilst Tom Riddle overwatches and, sees what's going on.
Yeah.
And Harry eventually kills the basilisk. Now, this is where it gets a bit messed up. So I only read this one recently and it really confused me. But Ginny is incapacitated and is over at the other side of the chamber and she isn't close by. And when he kills the basilisk, he also gets, bit. I believe it is on the arm. And he slowly starts to fade away. But everyone's favourite resident phoenix, Fawkes, flies in, cries on him, and saves the day. Now, people made this crazy theory up that when Harry killed another beast in, cold blood, that a part of his soul split and attached itself to Fawkes the Phoenix. Because you make a Horcrux by killing
that
something.
It healed him because Phoenix tears are healing. Duh. And
now, there's so many loopholes with this one that it's unreal. One, Fawkes the Phoenix actually does die, but he's just reborn over and over again.
yeah, I know, right?
So,
but
I mean, definitely not immortal. Two, I read that it had to be a living. That Fawkes was the closest living entity, but it doesn't have to be a living entity because half of Voldemort's Horcruxes were just items. So that theory is completely disproved. This one I've known about for a little while. This one's more clever. So this relates back to, if you remember when Professor Trelawney has the prophecy, her actual prophecy, and she's in a crazy voice and she's looking all mental and she says the line, I think, either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives. So people...
It was adorable how much they wanted to
oh my
be
god.
like
Okay,
us,
we'll just cut
so
out
we
this
offered
part.
to
Okay.
mentor them. It's time for a sing-off.
Like, oh my god, one of them's got to kill the other one, only Harry can kill Voldemort, only Voldemort can kill Harry. That's what you're made to believe. However, something called HP Wombat has broke it down kind of differently, and I like this one. This one's clever. So the prophecy reads, either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives. In the book, you read that as one of them will have to kill the other, as I just said. And that's exactly how I read it, and I'm sure that's exactly how most of you guys read it. But what if it meant something else instead? What if it meant that the only way that either one of them could die is from the hand of the other? So Voldemort can only ever die by being killed by Harry Potter, and Harry Potter can only ever be killed by Voldemort.
No,
Now, this leaves you in a predicament,
because Professor Dumbledore did say that Voldemort himself has to kill Harry Potter. He did say that. Oh my god, this might be true!
Because what if one of them kills the other one? Then the other one has no way to die ever. So if Harry Potter kills Voldemort, Harry Potter can only die by being killed by Voldemort. So Harry Potter is now technically immortal. Oh, the other way around.
But if Harry Potter kills Voldemort while he's still alive, because he was a Horcrux, Voldemort would just come back to life. What? Harry was a Horcrux of Voldemort. So Harry had to die in order to kill Voldemort, and then he came back because Voldemort was also somehow a Horcrux of him, which I don't remember how, but he was. And then
Wait, so they were Horcruxes of each other?
yeah,
Both of
they
them
were.
can never die.
No, because Voldemort killed Harry, which means he killed his own Horcrux. Lol. And then after that, Harry killed Voldemort. And then that was the end. And
And then Harry's immortal.
No, he's not. He no longer has a Horcrux because Voldemort's dead.
Well, no, but then Harry can't be killed by anyone except for Voldemort, and now Voldemort's dead.
But, like, I still don't understand where they get this from, like, that...
From the prophecy.
Okay,
Voldemort
yeah,
can
true,
only be
but...
killed by Harry Potter. If Voldemort kills Harry Potter, only Voldemort is immortal, and he can never die because there's no one to kill him anymore. So,
Confused.
I mean, that's a crazy
That's
theory. I
confusing.
really like that. And it means that by killing Voldemort, Harry
Okay, that's weird.
sacrifices his own death and will never die. And it's
I'm
been pretty
confused.
clear from the films
Lol.
that, and the books, obviously, that
He ain't
all of his
gonna
loved
die.
ones are essentially dead at this point. You know, his parents, Sirius, like everyone. I mean, eventually Snape too, which is, you know,
Dumbledore.
and all those people are dead, and the only way he can be reunited with them is to die himself. And he seems somewhat happy to make that sacrifice if he has to. But because he killed Voldemort, Harry Potter could now technically be immortal. Okay, so
You'd
the
have to
full
ask J.K.
theory
Rowling
that I
about
have
that. I mean,
is,
seriously.
again, it's a little bit of a fun one. So Neville was actually never bad at magic. He was just using the wrong wand. Now, those of you who are big fans of the series already will know
This
that
one
the
actually,
wand
like, makes
chooses
total
the
sense.
wizard, and you know all that good stuff. And that's why
There's an
a
ant on the
wizard
wall.
is good with a wand, because they are chosen by it and it attaches to them, and you know it allows it to be used.
Yeah.
But Neville, however, seems to be the outlier in all of this, because he comes to Hogwarts.
He could
his
just be,
parents
like,
are
half
both
a squib or
fantastic witches
something.
and wizards,
Wait.
and he's dreadful. He's pretty dreadful in the first couple of films.
True.
So there's a couple of like little things that are important here, and it's that the way that J.K. Rowling explains it is a witch or wizard must visit Ollivander's wand shop is the ultimate personality test, as the otherwise inert ones choose whether or not the person wielding them is destined to be its master. When the unique magical artifact's potential aligns with the right witch or wizard, sparks literally fly out of the wand, and it will commit itself to a single master. So a much better explanation of what I just said. However, there are other unique circumstances where you can use someone else's wand. It's saying basically if a wand doesn't choose the owner, then it'll never be at its full potential. However, a wizard may adopt another person's wand out of necessity. Ron Weasley, as you'll remember, also didn't have his own wand. Ron Weasley had his brother Charlie's old wand. However, they did that to save the expense of a new one, which means it's a necessity. So the wand will function sufficiently, but never to its full potential. So for those of you who don't know, Neville actually got his wand by choosing to use his dad's. So he didn't have to use his dad's. He went out of his way to choose
where'd you
to
get
do
that
that.
from?
So obviously Frank,
Wait.
Neville's dad,
Just wait.
had been an aura and had used the wand for many a powerful spell, and he was using it even in his final battle with the Death Eater, where he eventually got tortured to the point of insanity. So Neville, knowing that the wand would then go unused in St. Mungo's, which is the Harry Potter equivalent of like a psychiatric ward, Neville actually went and took it as his own, and that was the beginning of his many botched spells that he did in the first few years. So this is one of those theories where there's no way to actually tell whether or not it's true, because it makes sense. Like the baby trout theory, it makes sense. But no
Like,
one's
the
ever said
baby
it's true.
trout theory is
So
probably
we can't
true.
ever
It's probably true.
assume
It's not
it is,
even a
because
conspiracy.
Mrs. Rowling has decided to stay quiet on the
And this
matter.
also isn't a
But
conspiracy.
yeah, well, I mean,
It's
at one
just an
point,
explanation
Neville
of
eventually
something
went
random.
to Ollivander's and got his own wand. His dad's wand was snapped in the Battle of the Ministry, or Battle of the Department of Mysteries even. So his wand was actually snapped there by a Death Eater, so he had to go and choose his own wand. And if you've seen, the final films, you'll know that
He was really
Neville's
awesome.
a badass. Like his spells are on point. He's taking on some Death Eaters. It's all going pretty well for him after he gets his own wand. And towards the end of everything, he even becomes an aura. So things must have gone pretty
Really?
well after he got his
Okay,
own
I don't remember
And the
that one.
final theory that I want to bring you guys is another one that I really enjoy. I think it's really fun. And that is that Draco Malfoy is in fact a werewolf. So the first thing that's important here is to
This
know
has-
that
this doesn't even
although
make any
Draco
sense.
works for the bad guys,
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
he
confused.
seems
I'm
to
so
be
confused.
allegiant to them.
Okay, we're gonna stop it here.
If you want to go watch
For
the last one, then.
Reasons unknown. Just kidding. But yeah, I think that there's probably going to be a link in the description if you want to watch watched through already.
Yeah. We'll definitely link
yeah.
it.
Sure.
And also, you can just go,
I'm
like,
doing
check
it.
out his channel and stuff.
Yeah, like, or you can just search literally Harry Potter conspiracy theories dash film theory. CPK.
Yeah.
It'll come up.
But it's easier if we just link it.
True. Unless the link doesn't work.
It'll be fine.
So, yeah. Bye.
Hope you enjoyed. Like
It's
it.
awkward.
Like it.
Yeah, totally. It's great.